welcome to the Exit 36 podcast. It's another episode, and right now we're going to get into it with these brokers. Not all brokers are bad, so I'm going to put that out there. Some brokers are great to work with, not all of them. So, when it comes to the rate on these loads, you have some brokers who wouldn't mind if you haul the load for free. Some of them understand that us as carriers, we have a operating cost, but some of them think you could haul the load for free, and it'll be okay with them for them to keep all the money. One thing you don't want to do as a broker, especially with these container loads, you don't want to negotiate your way out of capacity. And what I mean by that is brokers that's trying to nickel and dime the carrier to the point where the carrier refuses to haul your load. It could get costly quick. You know that, and I know that, because I know how much the port charge per day for per diem, and I know that if you go on per diem, you can't get the container unless you pay. So we're not going to play those games of you trying to negotiate my rate down to where I'm operating at a loss. I have a situation just the other day where a broker contacted me on a load. It was an import container coming in from overseas, need to be picked up in the port and delivered at a customer. Customer go unload it, then I take the empty back to either the port or the empty yard. Depends on where the matrix say go for that day. Okay, I told him email over the details of the load. Normally when they send the details of the load, they'll send what port is picking up from, where it's delivering to, the container size. They'll send, some of them put the commodity, some don't. I always try to get it. Some of them will put the weight, some don't. Most of them try to just put legal weight. They know what the container weigh. So whenever a broker send you a load detail on a container and he put legal weight, always pressure him to send you the weight for the container. Okay, he know what the container weigh, especially if it's an import. Because in order for the container to go on the ship, they gotta let the ship know what the container weigh. And the port, wherever the loading port is overseas, they put that weight in their system also, because these ships have weight max capacity, so they need to know what each container weigh. So don't let the brokers get over you, tell you the container is legal weight. Get the exact weight, because they have it. So after they send me all that, I sent him a rate sheet. I was on the phone with him. I told him, okay, I'll reply back to your email with the rate sheet. The rate sheet gonna let you know all my rates, as far as a line haul, daily chassis charge, fuel surcharge, overweight charge. Everything is on the rate sheet. So I sent him the rate sheet, and he called back. Normally you send them the rate sheet, they agree with the rate sheet. If you're not already set up with them, they'll send you the carrier packet to fill out and so on. But if you're already set up with them, they'll send over the rate con. You sign the rate con, send it back to them. Also, they'll send the work order with the rate con. The work order is basically a BOL. Whenever you're picking up a loaded container at the port, always have the broker send you the BOL, which some of them will call it the work order, because you're not going to get that information from the port. So you're going to have the print that work order out and take it with you. So he called back and he asked him what we could do about the line haul. The line haul charge. So I normally set my line haul to a point where I could negotiate a little bit on it. So after we on the phone with him, my dispatcher was on the phone at the same time. We on the phone with him. He asked him if we could lower the line haul a little bit because he have more containers coming in and he'll work with us with those other containers coming in and so on. So we settle on a fair rate on the line haul and he said okay. So he got off the phone. Now we're looking forward to get that rate con. Then he called back. This time when he called back, he asking about the chassis charge. Can we do anything about the chassis charge? Can we add the chassis charge into the line haul and just make it be one flat rate? So I told him, no, we can't do that. The chassis charge is what it is. It's set, it can't be changed. Okay. Then he asked about the storage. Okay, he wanted to store the container for 2 days. He need the container pulled out the port before going on Demerge. The customer can't receive it for another 2 days, so I will have to hold on to the container for 2 days before I could go deliver it. When it comes to a situation like that, they gotta pay for pre-pull and they gotta pay for storage and the chassis charge. So if that container gonna be sitting on the yard for 2 days, they're gonna have to pay for storage for 2 days and the chassis bill for 2 days. When he asks about the storage, he asks about cutting the storage in half, the daily storage fee, if we could cut that in half. And at that point, I was like, okay, I had enough with this, trying to negotiate my rate. So I told him at this point, what he could do is find another carrier that have capacity for this container, because at the rate he trying to get it done at, I don't have capacity to do it at that rate. And I know it's other brokers out there who do the same thing, and there are carriers out there that fall for it. When it comes to dealing with a port, dealing with containers, it's not the same as running dry van, running reefer, or running flatbed, or any of those other type of trailers. With containers, they have what's called last free date. So the port give them 3 to 5 days free where they could have their loaded container into the port before they gotta get it out, or they gotta pay for each day sit there. Once that last free day come and pass, every day after that, the port charge them for that container being inside the port. That's on import containers. So what a lot of them do is they try to find a carrier to pull the container out, keep the container as storage until the customer ready for it. When you're storing a container, there is a storage bill that comes along with it. You don't store the container for free. Likewise, the port won't store it for free. Why should the carrier store it for free? The port have a Demerge fee, and every day that Demerge fee goes up. It might start at $180 a day. In a few days, it's gonna be $400 and something a day. So when they try to avoid paying that to the port, that's when they try to get a carrier to take it out. Now, once they go and demerge in the port, that container cannot leave the port until they pay to release it. And depends on the time of day that they pay, it might not come out that day. Because if you pay late in the evening, the payment might not get processed. So it might be the next day when the payment get processed. And because you paid today, the port not going to give you the container tomorrow. You're going to have to pay for tomorrow because tomorrow come and catch it in there. So what a lot of the brokers will do, who is familiar with it, if it's a certain time of day and they're paying for today, they'll also pay for tomorrow. Just in case the payment don't process today and the container get caught up in the port until tomorrow, they could still get out tomorrow without having to go through the whole process of payment not getting cleared tomorrow again. Now, once a payment process and they find a carrier to pull it out, they'll get it out. If the payment process late or the payment process but they can't get a carrier to pull it out that day and it goes into the next day, that's another demerge fee because the container didn't come out. So a lot of times, man, these brokers call you up and they're trying to get you to go get this container because it's the last free day. Sometimes they'll call you at the end of the day. It'd be 4 o'clock, the port closes at 5, and they want you to go and get that container out before the port close, because they know once the port close, it's going to be another demerge fee. They're going to catch it tomorrow. When they call you like that, don't try to do something that's impossible. If they call you after 2 o'clock, depends how far you are from the port, just tell them straight up it's not going to be today. You might as well go ahead and pay for one more demerge fee, one more demerge day. I'll get it out tomorrow, but it's not going to be today. Because they know when the ship arrive with that container on it. A lot of them, they're shopping the container around trying to find the cheapest carrier to haul it. It come down to the last free day, and because they couldn't move it at the rate that they were trying to nickel and dime a carrier to move it for, now they get put in a position where the last free day catch them and they're in a bind to go get that container out. So you coming in this container game, you gotta know how to play the game. It's a lot to learn about hauling containers, especially trying to learn these games that some of these brokers want to play. And yeah, like I said, it's a lot of good brokers out there. I work with a whole lot of good brokers. I try to stick with the same ones, but sometimes, for whatever reason, you get a load from a broker that you never worked with before. And especially if you never worked with him before and you're trying to nickel and dime your rate, that's a sign right there. Just cut him off right there. Don't even bother with him. In this thing, depends on how much trucks you're running, depends on how you structure your operation. You could run for brokers and you could run for direct customers. You could choose to just deal with direct customers, or you could choose to just deal with brokers. However you do decide to do it, it's people in every aspect of it that try to get over on you as a carrier. So just pay attention to them. When you come in contact with people like that, it make your life a whole lot easier not working with them. A lot less stress to deal with. It's a lot of good brokers out here, and it's a lot of good direct customers out here to work with. So you don't have to put up with too much of these people that's trying to nickel and dime you. Fuel price high, and you gotta be operating at a profit, or else you're not gonna be out here for long. If you wanna sustain in this business, man, you gotta make your rate and you gotta stick to your rate. Your rate is what it is. If they can't, if they don't want to work with your rate, you could simply tell them find somebody else to do it at the rate they want to do it for. It's enough work out here where you're not losing nothing not working for a certain broker or not pulling a certain load. Because as soon as you tell him no, you could jump on the load board, or if you get emails sent to you, you could jump in your email box and pick up another work in no time. So I hope this helps somebody out there. I know there might be somebody else out there going through certain things or just learning the port. Hopefully that help you, show you how to deal with some of these brokers that's trying to nickel and dime you.